Okay, so this looks like partial fractions from the get-go. So let's go do it. So again, write down the left-hand side, which is your original fraction in the integral, and let's set it up. So this is a linear factor that's repeated. So I'm going to have a over x minus 1, and I'm building up to that x minus 1 squared. Then my next one is my one linear factor of x plus 1. Okay, so this is the place where lots of people make mistakes. So remember, you're multiplying both sides by this denominator. So x minus 1 squared times x plus 1. Okay, so these two cancel out. So I'm just left with 4x on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I'm multiplying this times this, distributing, canceling as I go. So one of the x minus 1s will go away. So I'll be left with an a times an x minus 1 times an x plus 1. All right, so then multiplying this times this, the x minus 1's squared will go away. So I'll have a b times an x plus 1. And then if I'm multiplying this times this, the x plus 1's will go away. So I'll be left with c times x minus 1 squared. Okay, this is where we want to right away choose y's values for x. Don't go right away multiplying everything out. That's way too much work. So let's pick the y's value of 1. So if I let x equal 1 on the left-hand side, I get 4. On the right-hand side, when I let x equal 1, this will be 0, and this will be 0, so I'll be left with 2b, right? 1 plus 1 is 2 times b, so that means b is equal to 2. All right, so now let's let x equal negative 1. Choosing negative 1 because that will make this and this 0, and that's what I want. I want to zero out some terms. So letting x equal negative 1 on this side, I get negative 4. Letting x equal negative 1 in here, this is the only one that's not 0, I'll have negative 2 squared. So that gives me a 4. So negative 4 equals 4 times c, so c must be negative 1. Okay, so I've got 2 of my letters. So now I'm left to find out what a is equal to. Do not choose a random number. This is the time you want to compare coefficients. So I can see that my letter a is going to be in front of an x squared term. So that's why I'm going to choose my x squared term coefficients to compare. So on the left-hand side, the coefficient of the x squared term is 0 because there's no x squared term. On the right-hand side, I would get an ax squared. There's no x squared terms here. And in this, I would have a cx squared. I know that c is negative 1, so this gives me that a must be 1. All right, so now let's go plug it all in. So I'm plugging in a, I'm looking for this, right, to know where to plug it in. So I'm going to have the integral of a, which is 1, and then b, which is 2, and c, which is negative 1. Okay, so this is an easy ln. So I get ln of x minus 1. This one here, I'm going to need a u substitution. So du will be dx. So I'll have plus 2 times 1 over u squared. So I'm going to go slow, do that in the next step. This here is an easy ln. So taking some time so I don't make mistakes. So I'm going to rewrite this as u to the negative 2. And I'm going to add 1 to the exponent. Put it over that same number. Okay, so finally, ln of x plus 1. So this negative will come in front, so negative 2. 1 over the u, which is x minus 1, and then minus this ln. There it is.